are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast, episode 119 of the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan Larck, at You Boy the Tank on Twitter, and I'm here joined today by Mr. Harrison Tarr. Tarr, how you doing, buddy?
Never better, brother. Let's get into it. Let's talk Auburn ball.
Yeah, and starting off with the fact that this is a bye week. We do not have Auburn football for another, 8 days? 9 days?
I think 8 days this comes out, right?
Yeah, I think 8 days.
8 days for track, yeah.
Yeah, and that it sucks.
Oh, shucks.
But that means we still get to talk about Auburn football no matter what. We're not going to talk about quarterbacks today. That is going to be a conversation for Sunday, more than likely.
God bless America. I was so excited when you said that. I mean, I pray on the not the downfall. I pray on the arrival of the bye week every single year because that's one Saturday of football season that I don't have to watch Auburn play football. And I know that, like, I long for Auburn football all through the offseason. But once the season gets here, I'm like, wow, I'm ready for the bye week to watch other people beat up on each other. It's like the SpongeBob meme where you get to see, like, you know, when Patrick and SpongeBob are running outside and it's Squidward inside his house. Like, that's how a lot of people view it that way. I don't feel like that at all. It's just like now I'm verbal meme. The two people fist fighting, another person like crossed legs laying on the ground watching it on video. Like, that's me. That's me during the bye week because I don't have to stress. And it's not. I don't have to talk about Auburn quarterbacks right now, and I'm blocking the word quarterback out of everything. So, Dylan, go.
So, going into this week, we have a lot of stuff going on with the quarterback conversation.
I'm leaving the show. Bye, guys. Enjoy.
Well, we did have some news come out regarding the injuries that Auburn has dealt with over the past few weeks. And to start off, we're going to start off with probably the biggest one, Mosiah Nasili-Kite being listed as out for the season with a torn bicep.
Not great.
Not great. It's a bad loss to have. Your starting defensive end. But there is a light on the end of the tunnel. It means Keldric Faulk will be
It's Faulk time.
It's Faulk time to be listed as a starter. And you hate to see Nasili-Kite go out like that. And I hope he gets better. I would hope that it's not really a season-ending injury, but I don't think I've never really torn my bicep before, so I don't know exactly how that would feel. But I would assume it would hurt. But yeah, going into this bye week, going into this next week of LSU prep, Keldric Faulk should be listed as a starting defensive end for the Auburn Tigers, which I'm sure a lot of people are very excited to see what he can do. And by that, I mean everyone's really excited about to see what Keldric Faulk can do.
A lot of good reps opportunities for Keldric Faulk in terms of meaningful snaps and high pressure. So, you know, out of the best way to do it is just trial by fire, right? Damari Alston spelled Alston, by the way, for those of you guys who struggle with that in the comments a little bit. Alston, Damari Alston, not Austin, Alston, with a dislocated shoulder and should be back for either LSU or Ole Miss. There has been nothing said that would lead us to believe he's definitively back for Ole Miss. So that's where I'm at on that one. You can literally take the rest. I just wanted to touch on that one, Dylan.
Well, that one's going to be interesting to see because honestly, yeah, if he's not 100% against LSU, I am 100% with Brian Battie getting more carries and more touches.
And Jeremiah Cobb. Don't play Damari Alston.
Yeah, let that man get healthy. Let him get as healthy as he possibly can because you're going to need him throughout the rest of the season because I think he has – and with Brian Battie coming out in his last two games as a true, like, threat through the air, through the run game, and, you know, through the return game, still wait. I need him to return him back, and it's not a matter of if he does it. He's going to do it, and I just don't know when it is yet, but I want to see it happen. I don't think Damari Alston needs to play right away. I would say if he's 80% for LSU, don't put him in. I want 95% plus.
Yeah.
And if that means Ole Miss, I'm okay with that. We talked about how highly we regard this running back room all the time. And I think if Damari Alston is still hurt, not 100%, I think we are A-okay with Brian Battie, Jeremiah Cobb, and Jarquez Hunter, and Sean Jackson. And
Absolutely. Damari Alston, Alston. Austin Keys.
Do you have? Does someone have beef with you in the comment section?
No, I've seen this from 4 or 5 different people, and it drives me bonkers. And I love you guys. I'm not a grammar Nazi, but his last name is Alston, not Austin. They're very different names, and I see people kind of all over socials saying Damari Alston. I'm like, I don't know who that guy is. That person doesn't play for Auburn. Damari Alston does.
I have the same issue with the Robbie Ashford stuff because people don't know how to spell it. That is Robby.
Yeah, except those are the same name. Alston and Austin are just different pronunciations.
I'm aware. I'm just saying. I understand your pain because
Yeah,
I don't know who Robbie with IE is. I know who Robbie with a Y is.
Yeah, and I think there's only one comment on the last YouTube video that we put up. But all over Twitter, I'm like, guys, check the depth chart. It's ALSTON. Anyways,
his last name is on the jersey.
Yeah, it is actually on the jersey, which is crazy.
And the graphics that you watch the game on. And if you go to the game,
well,
it's
not if you're
on the scoreboard.
If you're watching on CBS and you're listening to the commentators, you have a right to just be wrong because
you need the proof. You need to recheck anything that those two geriatric people say.
Austin Keys listed about 3 weeks away from making this decision on what's next with his cast. Not sure where we are there. Keontae Scott is ahead of schedule, but no timeline to return. I don't know when. I've got no good source on a return for Keontae Scott. I don't think it's soon.
Adam Cole said positive on later in the season.
Yeah.
So I think when Daniel said Vanderbilt, I think that might be. I don't know, Vanderbilt. I feel like Arkansas might be a better timetable. Just give an extra week because I feel like the Vanderbilt Arkansas thing is going to be the same thing with LSU and Ole Miss for Damari Alston. I think just wait.
Just push it back.
I want him fully healthy whenever Alabama comes into town.
Right.
And
but certainly it's still ahead of schedule, which is big time. It'd be big time to get him back to returning punts. Dylan, we got some news from a crystal ball perspective on 3-star JUCO safety Laquan Robinson. You're breaking down his film a little bit before the show. Your initial takeaways there.
Yeah, JUCO guy from Holmes Community College in Greenville, Alabama. He's the number 1 safety in the JUCO class and number 8 national player in JUCO. 6'2", 195. Dude is a human highlight reel when it comes to sticking the crap out of people. Dude will lay the boom. And he's a taller safety too. He can high point a ball. And I saw that in some of the highlights I saw from him. He also has played a little bit of Wildcat quarterback in his time at Holmes. So a lot, or in high school he played. Correction. But yeah, a guy who would add a lot of depth to this defense as a whole. You know, you're going to be losing Jalen Simpson. Zion Puckett, is he a senior or junior? Is he a senior or junior?
He's a senior, but I don't know if he's got the year of eligibility.
Okay. You're losing all of these key upperclassmen defensive backs, and it helps that you're already bringing in what could be one of the better defensive back recruiting classes that Auburn has ever seen. With
Zion Puckett is a true senior.
He's a true senior. So would he have a year of eligibility left?
Nope. He played in 4 games as a true staff. Well, I guess he'd have a year left because he played in 4 games as a true freshman.
Fact.
Well, that means they capped him, so he's got a red shirt in theory, right?
And I mean, Laquan Robinson would join a defensive back room of the high schoolers Jalen Crawford, Amon Lane, Jaden Lewis, and Jalewis Solomon as well. And I think, and Kinsley Faustin, the safety, which pins Auburn at having one of the. Again, I think this is going to end up being one of the best defensive back rooms Auburn has brought in a recruiting cycle. And it's looking that way, especially if you get a nice JUCO guy who's the number 1 safety in his class. And what is it Trevon Reed always says? We ain't finished yet.
No, he finished yet.
Still got a lot of defensive backs out there. Some of them 5 stars that are still, here in Auburn
Still
out.
very much entertaining the Plains.
KJ Bolden and Jalen Mbakwe, I think, are the big guys who are still coming around to Auburn to come visit.
KJ Bolden, you can make me right yet, I swear. All right.
Just have what aged so poorly could age so right.
Well. It's like a fine wine, my friend. Like a fine wine. Okay. Speaking of transfers, we were talking about 3-star JUCO safety Laquan Robinson in his crystal ball. In the NCAA released a handful of new transfer guidelines for the portal window, breaking football down into 45 days, 30 days after season, 15 days in the spring. Basketball will remain 45 days, just consistent. And there's another part we'll touch on here in a minute. This, in my opinion, Dylan, did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. And I don't think you needed to do anything. I'm kind of, folks, for those of you who don't love this, I'm sorry. I'm an enjoyer of absolute portal madness and portal mania. I'm absolutely fine with college football free agency. I don't have a problem with it. And I'll tell you why. If we're not okay with these kids transferring in and out, hopping in the portal, out of the portal, whatever's best for their athletic and athletic futures, we should not be okay with students transferring out after 1 year from a school. It'd be like your kids coming to you and saying, "Mom, Dad, I'm not this place I went to school it's just I'm not happy there." And then you say, "Okay, well, that's fine. You can transfer, but only once. And if you don't love it there, you're shit out of luck." Or for people that like to pull the whole loyalty card, that there's no loyalty in college football left, think about sending your kid to a school and say, "Mom, Dad," they call you up and say, "Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, my coaching staff doesn't care about me. My sports staff has made it apparent that I'm not a good fit here. I don't have friends. I don't like it. I want to go X, Y, Z." And you look at your child in the eye and say, "I don't think you should be allowed to do that." For those of you guys that are saying that are going to inevitably tell me that I'm saying putting apples to oranges here, comparing apples to oranges, you are the ones that know I'm right. Because I personally don't. I've never had a problem with this. I know the NIL adds a whole nother dimension of whatever free agency. Okay, great. Then you should not tell me that if your kid gets a grant to go somewhere for grad school, that they shouldn't, like a stipend to go somewhere for grad school, it shouldn't be allowed to go there. It's the same principle, folks. Just one of them throws on pads and hits people on Saturdays. The other one hits the books. And no offense to our athletes, the ones hitting the books are more important. Let's be real. Just think of it that way. Next time you try to say the whole portal, college football, free agency, whatever, dude. I'm not buying it.
I will say I do love the transfer portal. I do like the rules of having it limited. I think like transferring once and then you get the transfer again if you're a graduate transfer, you can transfer. Well, I hate that JT Daniels is still playing college football because he's transferred 4 times because it's just so dumb.
Why?
Just because it's dumb.
How does it impact you?
It doesn't, but it's dumb.
Exactly.
All it does is give me, I will say positive side, it gives me more CFB grid stuff to do because I can now throw in JT Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. And then the 45-day window, I get it and I don't. The time frames, I guess they do cater to the athletes a little bit.
For football, it's 30 days in the fall and 15 in the spring.
15 in the spring. Yeah, I get that. That's what I was saying. The time frames, they do cater to the athletes. And you can declare that you're going to go into the portal before you're in the portal. So I guess it really doesn't matter. But I don't I get it for the sake of there has to be structure and there has to be a ways to regulate just quite literally roster management. I understand that. But I don't feel like they did a ton, but that's the NCAA for you.
I heard, I think it was it Crane? One of the Cranes that kind of brought it up, kind of a way to kind of limit. They thought it was a way to limit tampering in the portal.
That would track.
But then again, all you're doing is just changing how they're going to do it.
Everybody, folks, everybody under the sun in intercollegiate athletics has had tampering, what would classify as tampering conversations with other schools. It's not new. It's not like an unprecedented frontier. It's going to continue to happen and only get worse. So, like you said, limiting tampering in terms of just like if it's not illegal, like to talk to people in this time frame, then like we don't have to crack down on people doing it.
Well, I mean, no, we have like it was like considered tampering to give recruits cars, but now we have Utah giving all of their
Right.
scholarship athletes on the football team brand new Utah branded.
Though?
I'd be so mad. Like I do the same thing they do. I go to practice every day.
Right.
I'm the one holding up the team GPA.
Literally.
Like that, I think they deserve something, but like you're getting like Bama used to give all these recruits like these crimson colored vehicles, and it wasn't sketchy, but it was to everybody else. But now you have teams literally giving their like, oh, we got an NIL deal with Ram or a car dealership. Here's 53 Ram 2500s with the Utah logo on it.
Let's be honest though. Is that really doing their players a service? Because if it's a Ram 1500, they might not make it to practice. Let's just be honest. I caught some flack for commenting that earlier.
Well, honestly, the Utah's offense probably didn't deserve to have those trucks quite yet until Cam Rising can prove otherwise.
That's true.
The defense deserves two of them. One of them to make it halfway, and the other one to drive the rest of the halfway when the first one breaks down.
Right.
But I mean, also basketball has just a 45-day period in general.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just trying. So the 30-day period would last from the end of the regular season. So it would go from like basically the month of December, right?
I guess.
And then, or would it start after the championship
I think it would end after the CFP for teams that are playing. It would have to start after the CFP.
Well, it could start midway through December because do you need to go?
No, it can't.
Well, spring practice starts in what, March?
Yes, you could have the whole month of January essentially.
You have February as well, and then you have 15 days after spring practice.
That's not horrid.
Transfer out.
That's not horrid. It's all pretty bad, but it's not horrid.
I liked it better when the transfer portal was like, right after the season ended, you could enter the transfer portal, and then you had from the end of the regular season until spring practice to figure out where you or not spring practice. It was like, was it signing day? You had from the end of the regular season to early signing day to figure it out, and then you could still transfer somewhere for the signing day, and then after spring practice was up, you had a little window to go with, because I mean, you don't know where you're going to stand amongst the team. You have new coaches coming in all the time. You don't really know where you're going to fit in until a guy gets hired. You're not really going to hire a guy until like a week or so before signing day,
right?
That's usually how that goes, and that's why like Hugh Freeze he got hired to Auburn, and then he immediately started calling recruits.
Yep,
and he was just doing that for the entire first 2 weeks of him being on the Plains.
Yep. That's
I don't really like having a limit on the first. I don't think there should be a limit on the fall side.
Look,
spring, I completely understand.
Look, you don't have to tell me anything. The NCAA sucks. And they just come up with shit on the fly that makes them kind of seem like they're in power. And if you work for the NCAA, I'm talking to you SOB, because you don't care about your athletes. You sure as hell don't care about the participating schools. And as soon as you start feeling like something's going to slip, they do shit. They're like, all right, so suddenly we've decided that this 30-day, then 15-day process is the best way to go about things. Oh, and by the way, you know how fun it is to take photos as an unofficial visit so you can kind of see what you would look like and feel things out? Yeah, that makes total sense. To hell with it. You can't do it anymore. You know why? Because we hate fun and we hate student athletes. And honestly, we hate you, the fan. We also hate your mother. And fun, like I mentioned. So
and your father, who also suited up in the same uniform as you,
right? Yes,
for the photo shoots as well,
right? And if just so you know, we do think that if you wear a football jersey from the school you're transferring to and take a picture in front of a cool backdrop, we do think that that's cheating, and they then have a competitive advantage, because photos and jerseys are a competitive advantage.
I will say there was someone who came out and said that some of the people within like the schools kind of agree with it because of all the work that they have to do on the back side of things to kind of get prepared for all these unofficial visits. I'm trying to remember where exactly I read that.
That's just. I'm sorry. You said someone at a school said they agreed with this.
Give me 1 second. I don't want to
because like that is what you employ creative people to do. And yes, I can say that because that's actually the active occupation I'm in.
All right, so I'm reading from Nicole Auerbach, who's a senior writer for The Athletic. So she said that this rule would prohibit a mom from taking a photo would not prohibit a mom taking a photo on their phone of their son on a visit. It's just like banning the use of professional photographers in coordinated photo shoots. In all seriousness, a lot of administrators and coaches have complained about photo shoots and the effort they require from the staff. Plus, should that really be an important part of the recruiting process? It's only for unofficial visits. That's been a strain on recruiting staffs. It's not like you really need to take those pictures at unofficial visits anyways. They're really just for fun. I love the pictures, but they're not really like a vital necessity.
I disagree. I don't think that any recruit makes their decisions based on, like these pictures are so dope. First off, as someone who works in the creative field, I'm allowed to say this. My job title is a creative director. I'm allowed to say this. I have a staff that does this. You pay people to do that. You pay people for their time, for their expertise. And when they sign up to work in sports, let me tell you folks, when you sign up to work in sports, your normalized schedule out the damn window, kiss it goodbye. Don't give me any of that bullshit where it's a waste of our time and resources. Then you're not willing to recruit hard enough. I'm being real.
Did they add a rule to it as well? Because I love the photo visits because some of them are hilarious. I'm just imagining the dad with the pot belly, just sitting in like one of those tight fit. The guy in the Florida jersey, I can't remember.
Yes. Exactly. Oh yeah, I can't remember either.
But you know what I'm talking about. He had the sweatband on that he had no hair anyway, so there was no point in him even wearing it. But I mean, they're fun. And did they even list a rule as to what would happen if you did do it?
I don't know. It'd probably be some kind of stupid fine. But I think that like the whole premise of that is just the NCAA like saying, hey, we can control something that you do. Because some schools may have a better resource than these other schools for this niche thing. And their argument will probably be, and I'm spitballing and assuming, and you can't make an ass, can't spell assume without making an ass out of you and me. I get that, but have some kind of level the playing field factor. My whole mentality there, Dylan, is like if you are not willing to put through that effort and you think that is an extreme, advantage or whatever that other schools should be doing, then maybe you're just not cut out to be in the recruiting game at this level. Like, if you're not willing to use every resource you have, then get the hell out of the game.
I just looked up the NCAA allows recruits an unlimited amount of official visits. So you could still take the photos, just make them all official visits.
Yeah.
So you could just bypass that entire rule just by making every visit an official visit. Because I've never really understood the difference.
I haven't either.
Like I don't understand why are you're just coming to Auburn on your own money? I love it. Do it more often. I love it that you're doing that. It means you love Auburn. But why isn't Auburn just like, oh, here's an official visit? Would it just cost the school more money to fly? Because if it's official, Auburn?
It's all different. Every situation is kind of different. So
I'm just imagining official visit means you got flown out there to come see the school, and unofficial would mean you did it on your own.
I think so. And don't quote me on that. I don't want to.
That's me speculating, not
right. Right. Well, there's one other thing we should speculate upon, and that's the fact that we're getting close to having to starve Colin Beyersdorf once again. So I'm going to plug a couple things. We're going to get on the back end of the show, and then we're going to get out of here. First and foremost, if you're hanging out with us right here on the College Loop, episode 119 of the College Loop, like Dylan said at the beginning of the show, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and come hang out with us. We're pushing for 700 subscribers by the end of next week, and I know that's an aggressive goal, but if not, we're just going to have to starve Colin again. And he did not enjoy it the first time. You guys came through and let him eat it. So if you guys would help him out on that front, that'd be fantastic. Also,
72 more of you.
That's right. Just need 72 more of you. Share the show, like the video, comment. Yeah, give us your best takes. Bye week. How are you spending your bye week? What are your thoughts? Where have you let your mind drift to? Are you mentally prepared to have the quarterback conversation? Yes, no, maybe so. Who do you want that to be? Are you pro or anti photo shoots for unofficial visits? Does that make a difference to you? Do you think the NCAA sucks? If the answer is yes, if you hate them as much as I do, like, subscribe, and ring the bell, like I mentioned before. Also, buy the War Damn shirt, as Colin would say if he were here. Go to www.thewarreport.com and head over to the merch shop. Pick up your very own Feeling Loopy College Loop War Report Podcast Network co-branded T-shirt, one of 5 colorways, most comfortable shirt you'll ever own. Got my boy Ian Cook one. It should be up there with CFB grids here in a couple days or so. Once you pick up the T-shirt, make sure you use hashtag Feeling Loopy. Go on Twitter, post a picture of yourself, your dog, your cat, whatever, wearing your new hashtag Feeling Loopy T-shirt. Throw it on Twitter. We'll make sure we throw it up on the next stream. And we certainly appreciate all of your outpouring of support. You guys are the reason we are able to do what we do. All right, let's run through the news here, Dylan. Starting the men's basketball, Janai Broome and Jalen Williams will be Auburn's representatives for SEC Media Day. I almost said Auburn Media Day. Hello. SEC Media Day, which is kind of fun.
33 days away as the show comes out from Auburn basketball.
That's right. I also screwed the pooch pretty hard today and did not get tickets to basketball because I had a meeting.
Everybody sold out?
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I had a meeting. So I had some apologies to give out. That being said, Janai Broome and Jay Will, pretty fun duo there. Couple of forwards heading to SEC Media Day. Both guys that not their first walk around the block. I thought it was kind of cool that Janai is kind of still like the feature face, but Jay Will's been the guy around campus, for lack of a better term, for so long. And two guys that we really expect to have big years at Auburn.
They're going to also be hanging out with Alan Flanagan, who will be there as an Ole Miss rep.
So funny. Women's basketball will send Honesty Scott Grayson and Taylon Collins, which is really fun. Kind of, once again, Honesty Scott Grayson, the face of this program for a very long time. Originally a transfer from Baylor, obviously, but Taylon Collins, your first-year transfer and only year transfer out of Oklahoma State, the transfer senior. So they'll be kind of representing the yin and the yang, if you will, of both ends of the spectrum for what is encompassing in Coach Jay's squad this year in year 3. Yes, 3 of the Johnny Harris tenure. I don't know why I feel like she's been here longer, but it just speaks to how much she's really progressed this program. Auburn softball is back in action, Dylan. How excited are you?
I am very excited. They're going to be playing against some more Alabama schools. Playing against the college I'm getting my master's from, AUM, on Sunday. Also playing Alabama State on Sunday as well. Playing AUM at 11 a.m., playing Alabama State at 1:30 p.m. And then after that, they'll go the next week, on October 15th, they'll be having another doubleheader versus the Coastal CAC. If you're familiar with the community college around here, the coastal one, not the central one, and Enterprise State Community College as well the next week. But they also accepted an invite to go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, to play in the PV College Challenge. And that'll be in February. February 15th, they'll take on UC Davis at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The 15th as well, another doubleheader at 3 o'clock. They'll play Utah. The 16th, they'll play Wichita State at 8:30 p.m. And then February 17th, they're going to play against Clemson and Lindsey Garcia at 3 o'clock p.m. So all that's going on in Mexico. So if you want a little February vacay, travel with the team. Go to Mexico and go watch some Auburn softball.
That is such a trek. I feel like that is I respect it. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like that is a hike and a half. So Auburn soccer, we were talking a little bit about Auburn softball. Auburn soccer has had one of the streaks of all time. It's been a rough past couple weeks for them. Falling to South Carolina last Friday, 2-1, top 20 program, and they get to do it all over again tonight in a top 20 matchup as the show's coming out with number 19 Alabama and Tuscaloosa as at 6 p.m. Central Time. Like I said, in Tuscaloosa on the SEC Network. So an opportunity to get a top 20 win, and it's really not been about the defense. It's been getting balls in the back of the net for Auburn, and on the attack has not been the easiest thing for their Coach Hoppus squad to accomplish. Auburn volleyball will rematch number 9 Florida tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Took them to 5 sets last time. That was also at Neville Arena, so home court advantage plays favor to the Gators in this go round, but certainly a team capable of defeating and upsetting teams like this on the road is Brent Crouch and company. That group is young. That group is really, really talented, and they're only getting better as the season goes on.
It would be so nice to finally get a win over Florida in volleyball.
Yeah, it would be.
Still need to get one of those in gymnastics.
Dylan even threw another rundown here. Auburn Equestrians, number 2 in the country. They will travel to number 7 Baylor on Friday. I'm sure there's some kind of streaming platform on that Dylan could find while I'm running through tennis real quick. Auburn tennis women's. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to go with Selin Ovnuk and DJ Bennett. Will move on to doubles main draw. Move on to the doubles main draw round of 16 after defeating the number 23 ranked Fresno State duo in the first round yesterday. I'm not even going to pretend like I can pronounce Fresno State's duo of young tennis players there because I can't hardly pronounce them. But Auburn men's tennis, Raul Dubai. There we go. I literally had to look up the phonetics on the don't worry about that. Raul Dubai has earned a spot in the ITA Tennis All-American Singles main draw after winning 3 matches in the qualifying rounds. Wow. Lots going on in Auburn, and everything is pretty much playing at the same time. So that's
all I can say. If you want to go watch Baylor, Auburn, and Equestrian, just drive on to Waco, Texas. I don't know where. It doesn't say. I cannot find it anywhere where that would be streaming.
Hit up Auburn Elvis. He'll know how to get to it.
Yeah, hit up Auburn Elvis. Do they do stat tracker for Equestrian?
I'm sure not. No, I'm sure they do. I'm sure there is some kind of stat tracker.
And of course, just follow Auburn Equestrian on all socials. And
that's the easiest way to keep up with your
That's probably the easiest way. But right. Tarr, before we get out of here, we will not have a pregame show this week because Auburn is not playing this week.
That's right.
So it means more coverage we can give on the socials for other sports on those days. But here in the College Loop, we like to keep you all inside the loop of Auburn athletics. But from time to time, we do like to travel a little outside the loop. Again, no pregame shows, so we are going to be doing our week 6. Week 6. There we go. Let me fix that real quick. Week 6 pick'ems going into Auburn's bye week. And currently, as we stand, I am currently now 2 games behind Tarr. I am 32-18. Tarr is 34-16. And we also continued our streak of every guest but Mr. John Conley getting 7-3.
Wow.
Owen went 7-3 this past weekend, and I believe I went 8-2. Tarr, you went 9-1, with your only incorrect one being, I believe, if I can find it, Utah. So Friday night game really got to all of us, but you somehow picked Ole Miss to beat LSU, and that happened. So, yeah, weird things going on in college football at all times.
I might just snowball.
Maybe not. But to start off, we're going to start off with the Red River rivalry, or the Red River shootout, as it is formerly remembered, as the number 12 Oklahoma Sooners travel to the Cotton Bowl to take on the number 3 Texas Longhorns, who are also going to be traveling to the Cotton Bowl. And this rivalry of probably a future glimpse at the Big 12 championship game.
Texas.
I'll also be rocking with the Longhorns here. I would not be giving a horns up like they did when they played Alabama, but I will be picking Texas to win this game. Then following up, we got the 5-0 Maryland Terrapins traveling to Columbus, Ohio, to take on the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. That game will be at 11 a.m. And Ohio State currently a 20-point favorite.
Maryland, undefeated. Good ball club this year. But not good enough to beat Ohio State.
I'll also be rocking with Ohio State as well. I think Maryland's good. I just think Ohio State, for as much as I don't like Ryan Day, I do think that Maryland could keep this close. I think Maryland might cover. 20 points is a lot for this
I
Ohio
think
State
Maryland
team.
can cover. Maryland's a good ball club this year.
Yeah, and the guy who got offered $1 million by some other SEC school, Talia Tagovailoa, will also be playing. Has been playing
He's
very
having
well
a fun
this
year.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun. Turning down $1 million, you got to have some fun somehow.
That's right.
Then going into SEC play, you got the number 23 LSU Tigers traveling up to Columbia, Missouri to take on the number 21 5-0 Missouri Tigers. LSU's a 5.5 point favorite.
Yeah, and LSU needs to bounce back really, really bad here, Dylan. They need this win in the worst fashion ever. It's going to be to determine which Tiger team remains superior in the SEC in terms of record, because, well, Auburn's not in that race at the moment. They're deadlocked with LSU, but Missouri's running away with that one. All things considered, Jaden Daniels is just a dog, and that Missouri secondary is really, really suspect. But I'm gonna tell you what, MIZ-ZOU, give me Missouri.
Dang it, I thought I was gonna finally go against the grain here and pick against you. I thought you went so long into your LSU spiel. I thought you were gonna pick LSU, because I'm also gonna be rocking with Missouri. I think they're a good team this year. I don't think they're good enough to win the East. I think the East will get decided Saturday as well in that one game, I believe, that we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I'm also rocking with Missouri. I think Missouri looks really good. They're winning close games, which is exactly what you want.
Well, they're finally getting results on the contract they gave Eli Drinkwitz, because he owed them these wins.
Oh yeah, and he's doing that even with the recruiting he's bringing in.
It's time now.
2 5-stars.
Yeah, but it's time. They need to be winning now.
Oh, for sure. And I'll go into our fourth game. We got the number 13 ranked Wazoo Cougars taking on and traveling to the Rose Bowl to take on the UCLA Bruins. UCLA is a 3-point favorite for this 2:00 Pac-12 game.
Those jokers already burned me once. Give me the Cougs.
I also will be walking with the Cougs in this game. Cam Ward is a dog.
Best Wazoo team since Mike Leach, by the way.
Oh, for sure. Was there a coach in between Leach and this current one?
There may have been. I'm not a Pac-12 aficionado. I just like Cougars.
Cool. All right, back to the SEC. We got a game that has been a really fun watch in back-to-back years, no matter how you feel about this one team. Number 11, Alabama Crimson Turds will travel to College Station to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. Alabama currently a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, Alabama.
I also be rocking with Alabama here. I think Jimbo got his one, and yeah,
he got his one allotted win.
Yeah, he got his one Nick Saban win that just took the. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened.
That game probably just determines the West, though.
The game definitely does determine the West, unless weird things can happen.
I mean, yeah, if everyone wants to beat up on everyone, yeah, that can happen.
I mean, if say Auburn wins out.
We're not going down that road. We're not going down that road.
Auburn wins out. Alabama wins out all the way to the Iron Bowl. Auburn only got 2 losses in the SEC. Takes down Bama. You have the face-to-face. Auburn wins the West. It's so simple. All you need to do is
Alabama's loss is not an SEC loss. Try again.
Crap. All right, so A&M needs to win this one and then lose like 2 more.
Right.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Alabama's gonna win this game. Jimbo Fisher, not a big game coach. Then we got the Gus Malzahn led UCF Knights. Speaking of not a big game coach from last week, we'll travel to
Had that one right there, man.
Lawrence, Kansas, to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas is currently again a 1.5 point favorite over the Golden Knights.
And Kansas is 4-1.
Yep, with a loss to Texas is the only one on the resume.
Reasonably, that was a blowout. No, they got their ass handed to them.
Oh yeah,
is Jaden Daniel? No, help me. Jalen. Is it Daniels as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand the mix-up. It's Jaden and Jalen.
Jalen Daniels. Is he back this week?
I think I don't know.
Okay, that
Either way, Jason Bean is a really good replacement for Jalen Daniels.
Yeah. This will be the one I lose this week. Give me the Gus Bus. Give me the UCF Knights. Yeah, I
Jalen
mean,
Daniels is a day-to-day situation.
never mind. Give me Kansas. Give me Kansas.
I will say
I will say this. UCF melted down pretty hard. A couple weeks in a row. They're playing more competitive ball in the Big 12 in year one than I thought they would.
Oh, they were playing very competitive for the first half of that Baylor game. And then they gave up, 28 unanswered points to lose to the Baylor Bears. Who have you said on record are not a good team.
They're not.
But yeah, so
Kansas. Yeah, I'll take Kansas now.
Yeah, rock chalk. There you go. All right, now we got a game that was really fun to watch last year. The 2-4 Vanderbilt Commodores will travel to Gainesville, Florida, take on the Florida Gators. Florida is currently an 18.5-point favorite.
Florida cover.
I will also be rocking with Florida. Vanderbilt won in Nashville. Don't think they're going to win in Gainesville.
And then storm the field in a single file line.
That made it so much better.
It was awesome.
All right, now for the game, talking about the Bama A&M game determining the West. This game might be determining the East. As the number 20 Kentucky Wildcats travel to Athens, Georgia, to take on the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, who are a 15-point favorite in this game.
Georgia cover.
Georgia cover? What? Georgia Kentucky cover on that one. I think Kentucky can run the ball better.
Georgia's not covered a spread yet this year. They're due.
They'll be due against Vanderbilt.
True. maybe Georgia no cut. No, Georgia cover. I'm going to go Georgia cover.
I just can't bring myself to do it after what I watched Kentucky do to Florida last week. All right, now I'm kicking it to the ACC or whatever Notre Dame claims to be. The number 10 Notre Dame Fighting Irish travel to Louisville, Kentucky.
Dame. Huh? It doesn't matter who they're playing. I'm picking Notre Dame, so you can finish.
Did I say Notre Dame or something?
No, I was just saying Notre Dame.
Well, they take on the number 25 Louisville Cardinals, who are one of the more fraudulent teams ranked in the top 25. Absolutely just going completely mild in all of these wins that they have on their resume. But yeah, so who are you picking to win?
They could be playing Texas, Alabama, or Georgia, and I would still say Notre Dame. So
that's a take. Yeah, but I'll be going Notre Dame here as well.
They're close. They're really close. I hate that Sam Hartman doesn't have another year. I really do.
I love the slow-mos of Sam Hartman fixing his hair in the wind of the Duke game.
I love every slow-mo of Sam Hartman ever.
Yeah, but they should have beaten Ohio State, and they got a close win over a really good Duke team. Hopefully, Ryan Leonard is going to be healthy.
I'm just saying, if Notre Dame beats Ohio State, like, we're looking at this whole college football playoff concept so differently right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Notre Dame would have been top 3 if they would beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN probably wants Notre Dame to be so good they might have just put them at 1. Why not?
I would have let them. I would have absolutely let them do that.
I wonder why you would have let them.
I would have let them do that. Yeah, I
can only imagine why you wouldn't want that.
Really tough one. I'm also a huge fan of Texas right now.
Louisville, Missouri, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Michigan.
I'm also like a huge Florida, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. Who else is left on Georgia's schedule? Georgia Tech.
Well, the Georgia Tech thing was already up in wraps for you.
I'm a fan of everyone else playing Georgia for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Georgia Tech.
Odds that Florida can remember how to play football from one game.
Who's their coach in this scenario?
Sunbelt Billy led by Graham Mertz.
Yeah, not happening. Sorry, it's not happening.
Yeah, I like all the folks saying Ole Miss is going to go into Athens and win. That's just wild.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin got his big win of the century, so we're just he might not need to pick them in big game situations anymore. But this week they don't really have a big game to go against, and our last pick is the 2-3, 0-2 in the conference. Arkansas Razorbacks are going to travel to Oxford, Mississippi, to take on the number 16 ranked, no defense, Ole Miss Rebels, who were fresh off of storming the field after getting a top 15 win for whatever reason, other than just to do it. Ole Miss is 11.5 point favorite.
No, yeah, Ole Miss cover. Arkansas is horrible. They're bad. Sorry, Sam. Sam Pittman, come coach the O-line at Auburn.
Nah. I like our dudes we have.
Thornton.
Yeah, Jake Thornton.
I do too. Be a special assistant.
Offensive analyst, but strictly only.
You would be down?
I would be down. I just don't trust any Arkansas. I don't trust any more former Arkansas head coaches on the roster at Auburn. Don't trust it anymore.
Would be kind of cool to see Sam Pittman go to like Oregon and coach with Dan Lanning. That would be kind of fun. Let's be real.
Yeah, Sam Pittman, likable dude.
Not a great head coach.
Not a good head coach. And
wish he was. I really wish he was.
Yeah, he's such a likable dude, and the fact that he deleted Twitter after getting memed to death for
other things, yeah.
Reasons I won't mention on the show, but you can definitely go just look Sam Pittman up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
You'll
right.
probably find out why he got
pretty quickly.
Got kind of made fun of off the app.
Pretty quickly.
Likable dude, not a good head coach. I think he suffers from the same thing most head coaches do at some point. I think he suffered from having success in his first season as a head coach. And that gives the fan base expectations.
Unrealistic expectations.
Exactly. I think he get 9 or 10 wins in year 1 at Arkansas.
9 wins after the bowl game, I think.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was after Chad Morris came through. So
golly, left lane hammer down.
So I mean, Sam Pittman is on track to be the next offensive coordinator at Auburn.
It's right. I have the Chad Morris left lane hammer down Arkansas T-shirt.
Yeah.
I bought it for $6 at the bookstore while he was still the coach.
I will say,
it's a Nike shirt.
For as much crap as I give Phil Montgomery for some of the things he does during games, I'm so thankful he's not Chad Morris
or Mike Bobo.
Don't say his name. I might hate him more than I hate Chad Morris.
I have friends that are Georgia fans that they're like number one saying this year is Mike Bobo's a terrorist, and I think they're not wrong. Like Mike Bobo and Matt Canada and Chad Morris are all in cahoots.
Well, so
start a global war of terrorism on football.
So Lauren is still adamant I'm trying to be a Georgia fan still, and I'm trying to make her stop. But she was watching the Georgia game, and she looks at and it shows Mike Bobo in the booth with his big nose and everything, and she looks at me and goes, "Is that Mike Bobo?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why is he up there? Who did we hire him?" I was like, "Yeah." What's his name left for the Ravens? And and Kirby was like, "Yeah, this is a good replacement.
We'll bring Mike back. He's a terrorist."
I think I'm going to quote you on that.
Please don't.
Quote graphic.
Harrison Tarr, out of context, Mike Bobo is a terrorist.
Nah, like we'll bring Mike Bobo back. Harrison Tarr, who should replace Phil Montgomery next year.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that'll age. That'll age
great.
I wonder, will you get more comments for that one than you did for the other one?
No, for sure not. Because there's a lot of people that would like to change the offensive coordinating situation yesterday. So
not for Mike Bobo.
Not for Mike Bobo. I don't think so, no. Any other games we have left to pick?
That's it. That's all 10. And
awesome.
We chose the same game Same team for every game. So
Did we actually?
I'm not mounting a comeback quite yet.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Maybe next week.
That's absolutely brutal. I'm Harrison Tarr. I'm by Harrison Tarr on the Bird app. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell right here on the College Loop YouTube channel. If you're listening on any other streaming platform, make sure you give us 5 stars, a thumbs up, whatever the world of podcast tells you to do. Then, whatever the best review is, we certainly appreciate it if you would leave that for us. Share the show, like the video, comment, and tell us all of your thoughts on literally anything we've talked about throughout the show. Tell us what you guys want us to talk about on the Sunday. I guess we'll probably still go live on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
On the Sunday night live stream. Tell us what you want us to talk about there, and we will be happy to answer any questions there. Make sure you share the link because we can only send out this video to so many people that are subscribed to us, and we only have so many friends in our life. So share them with all of your friends and get them all on board. We're happy to have you guys all here at the College Loop. If you're looking for the Feelin' Loopy t-shirt, that's at www.warreport.com. That's available in 5 different colors at $25. You can also grab that link in the description to any of our shows, whether that be on YouTube or any of our other podcasting channels. I'm Harrison Tarr, by Harrison Tarr on the Bird app, on Instagram, wherever else you want to get after me. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for your continual support. We will touch base with you guys on Sunday for our Sunday evening live stream. Dylan, go ahead and get us out of here.
Of course, I'm Dylan Larck at YouBuildTheTank on Twitter/X. It redirects, of course, as you all know. Just right there at YouBuildTheTank, at YABOY the Tank. Also have me on Instagram at Dylan Larck, DYLANLARCK. No pregame show on Friday, but if you're just looking for a little content that's a little evergreen on our show, you can either catch up on the episodes themselves, or you can go back and watch our first episode of Outside the Loop, where we talked to Mr. CFB Grids himself, Ian Cook, who was a lot of fun. And we
Ian cooking.
And we even did a CFB Grid live as well. And it was a lot of fun. Go check it out. And it came out a little earlier than we wanted it to.
We should do that Sunday night. We should see if he wants to come on the live stream and do a grid.
I'm down.
We've got time. And get some loopers to help us out with some names.
Oh, it might hit like 0.1 on the rarity score.
Even if Ian can't make it, let's do it anyways. Why not?
I'm down. So down. Just saying. Yesterday, as being recorded, I trumped Tar and CFB Grids by.
I had a bad week.
Yeah.
For the 13% of you guys to put Ryan Tannehill for receiving yards, you can ligma. Just saying. Sorry.
I mean, it was a good effort, all in all.
It was one of the efforts.
And I'm trying to remember. I put for A&M receiving. I put Billy Joe Pulisic.
That's a wild one. One.
I somehow came across him while I was trying to look up a Clemson guy, or not Clemson. Who's the other one? Tennessee. I was trying to find a Tennessee guy. I thought it was a quarterback. I was trying to think of it was like Bailey or something, but I put Billy instead. And I was like, oh, that'll work. But of course, going back to the outro. If you want to follow the show, you have us everywhere. You have Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and right here on YouTube, all at the College Loop. Leave some likes, leave some comments, leave some love, share it everywhere. And of course, if you want to listen to the show and you don't want to watch us anymore, I completely understand. Tar's even yawning while I'm doing this. He's hiding his face just to help y'all out.
I'm sorry, I'm exhausted.
But of course, you have us on Spotify, Podcast, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music on those fronts as well. Leave some 5-star reviews. And, of course, with everything being said, enjoy the bye week. Enjoy some much-needed rest. Root for Alabama's downfall, but also root for Jimbo Fisher's downfall if that can even happen in the same game. And with all that being said, this has been the College Loop Podcast.